Hello, everyone. We're going to try things a little different today. My Tommy Time Zoom got delayed because we had a big meeting at the office introducing a new person. So I kind of pushed everything off and he got me behind on some other things. So I had to answer some calls and everything. So what we're going to talk about today is Alumawood. Alumawood is a patio package where there's a beam that has some decorative detail. It has an aluminum uh, insulated roof system on top of it. It's not very sturdy to be able to mount shades to. And I've been asked this numerous times. How do we mount shades to it? What they usually do is you have a 4x4 post that holds up a beam that goes across. Now, the beam could be decorative, could have this detail on it, could have another shape. This is one of the more common ones, but usually on the front of the post, this is mounted. And it's usually has caps on it to hide where the screws go in, but this is usually foam filled. So with this being foam filled, it's only real thin, kind of like gutter material. So it's not strong enough to be able to withstand screwing an L bracket or a track into it, or even the hood and housing for that. But always the beam going across, if it's decorative like this, it's going to be going across. There's going to be a C-beam. So it's basically a piece of steel that's like this that's mounted inside. Now, if the post is mounted, the beam is mounted on the outside of the post, more than likely there's a cap up here. So that cap goes through the C-beam of the steel beam inside of it that gives it the strength to put the patio cover on top of it into the post. But that's not strong enough to mount the shade to. Now, if you're mounting the shade on the back side, like back here behind this, you might be able to get close to the C-beam to screw into it, but you don't want the screw sticking out the other side. So what I have always done when I run into these issues is you can take the cap off. Usually there's a screw that holds this in somewhere in the bottom or something. This is a decorative piece that comes off. You can look on the inside to see where the C-beam is, and then you can take a piece of 2x6 treated and you would slide it in the inside to, and you're just going to have to watch because this is small enough to fit inside of here and clear the bolt heads that are probably in there. But if not, you might have to, shave this down where those bolt heads are going to be into the post. Slide this all the way across, all the way through the whole beam, all the way across. And now you have a structure where you can mount your shade to inside, outside, whichever you're going to mount the hood and housing to. You can do the same thing on the uprights. So if you want to take this down, take the take the foam out of it and then slide a 2x6 in it, then you're doing is where those caps are. You're running a screw back through the 2x6 into the post to give you structure to be able to mount things to that will hold up to the winds blowing against it or anything like that. I hope this makes a little bit more sense. The Aluma wood always is it's decorative. So any of the posts, let me put it back together to show you. You always have a piece on the front and a piece on the back, and then you have this that runs all the way across. Now, in some instances, some people use a smaller 3x3 post, and what they'll do is they'll notch this sometimes, and it goes up inside of this. So it goes up inside, but you need to look at the structure, take some pictures, send it to us. Let us walk you through the whole process. But the easiest thing to do is take the screws to take this cap off the end to look inside of to see what structure there is. Now the uprights, I mean, you could tap on it. The uprights that are on the face of the post, all the manufacturers that do Alumawood, that's just one of the names. There's, I think, another one. I forgot what the company in Houston, the distributor of it calls, but that's where I went and got this piece. So I could do some content for you guys to help you understand and explain. The Alumawood structure has been a thing that's been going on for years. When I used to build insulated roof patio covers, we just put a beam up over the top of the posts and then mounted the shade directly to it, or mounted the patio cover on top of it. That's the way it was back in the day. But things have changed a little bit over time. Sorry, I gotta get my hand gestures so the camera will follow me again. Um, but yeah, that's what this is designed for. Is this is decorative. So this isn't structure at all. The C-beam inside of it that's mounted to the upright or the post is what gives it the structure to be able to screw the insulated roof down to. Now, anytime you get those patio covers, never screw up into the top, because all that is this same thin aluminum that's over a foam panel. It does have a fan beam in it because that's why people hang ceiling fans from them, and you can run electricity in those. But it's not necessarily the way to mount the shade up into it because it's not structural enough to hold that. But you'll see these pop up. I think a lot in Texas, Arizona. I think even some in Louisiana. I've seen some patio covers that are done that way. Instead of building a whole wood structure and all that, they buy these foam panels and snap them together and then screw them into a receiving channel on the house and then set it down on a beam for the projection so the water runs off. So that is what Alumawood is, and it's just a name of an insulated patio roof system. But you can still put shades on it. Now, on the edges of the Alumawood structure, there's nothing there. So there's nothing to mount shades to. So in that instance, you want to put a beam in yourself. So a lap beam or some kind of beam running across you can mount the shade to, and then you can fill in the rest of it with fixed screen or aluminum pieces. I've had some guys that would get big pieces of aluminum and break it, meaning they would make an L out of it and then they would mount that behind the housing just to give it some structure and to seal it off if the homeowner is wanting to seal it completely. Hope this gives a little more instruction on the Alumawood and how to mount to it. There'll be some other videos that'll be coming up. If there's any videos that you all want to see, please, by all means, leave comments below in the comment section and let me know what videos you would like content on, or if there's anything you're uncertain of how to mount to, and I will design a video to work for that. Thank you, and you all have a great day.